If you've heard it, so have we.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I know, it's usually not me. If you...
Who's Boo Boo the Fool now?
Me! I'm Boo Boo the Fool! If you heard it, so have we. If you hate it, we probably do too.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
If you've heard it, so have we.
If you hate it, we probably do too.
If you like it, we'll see.
But either way, we've
heard it all. Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
You know what? We're doing good. The weather is warm.
Phenomenal.
The weather is so warm. Some could say a little bit too warm for April. But you know what? I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I think we have to accept what is coming to us.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the words climate change in a long time in the news, and I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
It's very concerning. We're not talking about it, but...
But after a long, harrowing winter...
I will enjoy.
I walked out without a jacket.
I had a pep in my step this morning.
Yeah.
I had a little sweat working up.
What was I listening to that was really... I think it was a musical.
Okay.
I think it was Heather's the Musical.
And you know what? That fits.
And I was stomping around town.
Yeah. I'm so glad for you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, what have you heard?
What have I heard? Okay, actually, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Yay.
I have recently heard that the trailer for Sunrise on the Reaping has come out.
What do you mean? The trailer already came out.
The Hunger Games. It came out a few days ago.
Girl, the trailer's been out. I've seen it.
No, the full trailer just came out. They had, teasers and stuff. But the full,
Maybe those teasers were just
the teasers were really good.
Okay.
But the full trailer just came out yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm, very excited for it. Because I'm honestly always a Hunger Games girl. Yeah, you definitely do need to read it, especially before it comes out. It is very scary. I'm even tempted to read it again, though.
Yeah.
Because it's genuinely a very good book.
Okay.
But just watching the trailer, I know this might be crazy of me to say, but I think this could, get an awards nom.
Really?
I truly think it is.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it more just because, the actor who's playing younger Haymitch has studied Woody Harrelson to a T.
Really?
His accent and the way that he speaks and the cadence of it is exactly Woody Harrelson.
Wow.
It's really crazy.
Okay.
And, it is a stacked cast, but I was also thinking about, no spoilers, obviously, because you haven't seen it, but, a lot of this movie is about, misinformation and kind of what is pick and choose chosen to show on public media. And I was also thinking, I was oh, this is the only Hunger Games movie to come out during a Trump administration. Everything else has been Obama or Biden.
Yes, because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was under Biden.
In 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it is so salient to the times that we're in that I could very much see a voter base and them doing an awards push.
I mean,
for this movie.
Best casting at the
for sure.
least.
Even I would say costuming. I mean, I could literally see Best Picture.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but I'm so excited.
Okay, I bought it when it came out because, as you know, I am a late bloomer to the Hunger Games franchise, which, I'm kind of glad I waited. Not that it wouldn't have hit home as a young adult, but I think as an adult reading it in a time of multiple wars and genocides across the world, I was just it's either people read this and just did not think to apply it to what's happening, but it was just so heartening and so hard to read because I think when I was younger looking at Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson and thinking of Katniss and Peeta, they were always so much older. Yeah. And now I'm oh no, they were kids.
They were literally children. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's on my shelf. It will not be the next book I read. It will not be the book after that book. Yeah. Because I have two already booked and ready to go.
I know you do.
Well, actually, they're not what you think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I want to let you finish your point.
That was pretty much all of my point. I am very excited for this whole entire movie. I'm really excited to see Jesse Pullman as...
Jesse Plemons?
Oh my god, yeah. Is Jesse Pullman someone else?
I think you're mixing up Lewis Pullman.
Yeah, I think I'm just getting their
Jesse
names.
Jesse Plemons.
I'm so excited for Jesse Plemons.
No, because
he does look like
Philip
a
Seymour
clone of him.
Yeah.
And, God, Jesse is just so incredible. And Plutarch is such an interesting, layered character, especially in, as you learn more about him during this book. I'm so fucking excited.
I'm really excited.
I'm really scared because it's also just, knowing what happens in the book and seeing how little these little kids are is very harrowing. Every time I see them, I'm oh, I'm not going to make it out of this movie.
Yeah. I would say anyone who's an adult, reread The Hunger Games.
Yeah, reread them. Because, like, obviously I read them in the high school, or I think it came out when I was in middle school, was obsessed with them. I reread them, like, every couple of years, and then I just reread them for the first time, like, as, like, a lucid adult. I think in, like, 2020 or 2021. And my God, can Suzanne Collins ride.
Yeah. I need to give Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes another try. Yeah,
I would give it another try because it is so different, but it's truly because it's from Snow's point of view.
Yeah, and I think it was hard to get on board with him. But I need to read it because the movie just didn't feel as potent because I'm not getting this internal dialogue. And also it's Tom Blythe.
Tom Blythe is hot. So I think there's a lot of, like, oh, I'm going to look past this because I'm looking at Tom Blythe and he's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, like, it is really interesting just to see, like, how he views Lucy Gray and, like, how he uses her but also is in love with her very much so, and kind of his thoughts regarding, like, the Capitol and the districts after spending time in both.
I'm really curious.
It's very good. It's very much a change of, like, pace and, like, tone if you're expecting, like, the Hunger Games, but yeah, I would give it another try. I think you'd like it.
Okay. I mean, I know I would probably enjoy it. I love her writing.
Yeah.
I'll add that to... That'll be third in line.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But that's all I've heard. What have you heard?
I have two things for you.
Okay.
The first thing I heard
is
that someone who I've really come around to, I'm not excusing anything she has ever done in her life, but I've come to really appreciate her as an adult and what she has given us in terms of art, and that's Lena Dunham.
Yeah.
I got her memoir today.
Okay, the newest one.
Went to the bookstore, bought it. It was a signed copy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay. Because my friend texted me, and I haven't looked up anything about this because I hate when a book comes out and all the headlines are just spoilers.
I know, it's so frustrating.
I haven't looked up anything. I saw one thing about Adam Driver and I had to look away.
Yeah.
But a friend texted me and said that in the book she, like, admits to cheating on Jack Antonoff, but then she says that he was taken with a teen pop star, and I said, Lord Antonoff PowerPoint, where are you?
Yeah.
We're linking that PowerPoint because
it's crazy.
Was a cultural touchstone for me. That and the Reputation Gaylor Swift presentations.
That one's good. You did get that one to me.
Yeah, it's a good PowerPoint.
It is a good PowerPoint. Sorry. Yeah. Open the schools.
Look, even if it's not true, the creativity
and, like, the storytelling and, like, narrative elements you have to put together.
Yeah, turn it into a book. Think about it. Anyways, but I am currently, for our eyes and ears, aka our listeners, for y'all to know, I'm currently finally reading A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah.
I'm about 30 pages left.
Ooh, okay, we gotta talk about it after the end of recording.
I have, like, 30 pages left, so I think I might stay up and just finish it tonight.
You have to. You're gonna have to.
Because something about me really wants to start reading Lena Dunham tomorrow on the train.
Yeah, you should.
Hopefully by the time next time we record, I'll be done.
Okay.
So I'm really gonna try to power through.
Yeah.
Reading has kind of been fun for me lately.
Oh my God, crazy.
So, yeah. But I'm very excited to read that after I finish this, because I figured... I know I will breeze through the ACOTAR series, but I like punctuating series with other books so I don't get so sucked in, and I've seen the next book. It is thick.
It is. She is a thick.
It's thick, and I already am theorizing what's going to happen, and I'm like, this is going to be nasty.
Okay.
Because I was told that this was, like, fairy smut. The first book isn't that smutty.
No.
It's more just, like, yearning, which I like.
Also, I would say this was, like, what you would define fairy smut as in 2020.
Oh, yeah, we've
gotten disgusting since then, so it's going to be very tame.
Okay.
Which
honestly, I was fine with. I was like, this is nice. It's a lot of yearning. I'm down with yearning. So, yeah. The second thing I have heard, which when I saw it today, I said, this will save me, is Lin-Manuel Miranda. I
don't know what this is. Okay.
Is directing an adaptation of the musical Octet, which I hadn't heard about this, but it is a chamber choir musical.
Okay.
So we're dealing with operatic tone.
Yeah.
He's directing a film adaptation of it.
Okay.
And it will be starring.
Okay.
Amanda Seyfried.
Okay.
Rachel Zegler.
I was waiting for you to say Rachel Zegler. I was waiting for you to say that.
Wait. Hold on to your pants. Jonathan Groff.
Okay.
Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Okay.
Gaten Matarazzo.
Enough.
And I apologize. I didn't know this last person because I don't watch Severance. But I think it's something Tillman. He plays, he's a black man with a beautiful mustache.
Yes. I didn't know he sang. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be incredible. Is he just directing it, or is he doing the music as well?
So the music's already...
Oh, okay. So
it's already musical. And I looked it up. It's basically a musical about, like, technology and nihilism. It's about these internet addicts who come together.
Okay, I'm very excited because I know we've talked about this. We have not talked about this in the pod. Obviously, we love Lin-Manuel Miranda.
This down on this pod. Lin house.
He is such a good director.
Tick, Tick, Boom.
Tick, Tick, Boom is
so
fucking
good.
Incredible.
And nobody talked about it.
No one talked about it. It was a weird COVID... It wasn't a weird COVID movie, but it was a COVID movie.
It was like a 2021 that it was
right
on
Netflix.
And Andrew Garfield should have gotten a nomination.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have.
It's incredible.
I saw that news today.
Holy shit, that's exciting.
I literally said...
That's too much star power. All in one. I'm so excited.
I also... there's so many... It's a stacked cast, but... Because he was recently on Caleb Heron's podcast, and it was a beautiful episode. I'm so glad Gaten Matarazzo.
Yeah, I thought you meant Lin-Manuel Miranda. I was like, girl, we're going to have to pause the podcast.
We need to go listen.
Yeah, I haven't listened to his yet.
Imagine.
I would cry.
What would they talk about?
I don't know what they talk about, but I think it'd be funny.
I feel like their energies would just be like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a lot of awkward pauses, and then they would get back into it.
Yeah, and Lin would just smile.
Yeah.
And Caleb would just be like...
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm so glad that he's getting stuff like after Stranger Things.
Yeah,
because
he's so talented too. Like
from a young age.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
been on Broadway for a long time
that he was in the Sweeney Todd revival with Josh Groban.
Yeah,
incredible singer.
I know, crazy.
Love that for him.
So excited for him.
I saw that today and I was like, okay,
oh
life
my god,
is worth
amazing.
living.
Do you know when it's supposed to?
I think in the fall.
Okay, so it's like already done.
No,
or they're recording
actually,
in the fall.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. There was something else that I saw was coming out in 2027. It was something else that I was looking forward to, but I can't remember what it is. But
okay.
Nope, can't remember.
You don't need
a lot of stuff happening. So the art is going to art this year.
I'm really excited. I am really excited because I feel like we do have a lot of stuff coming up. Actually, we just saw Project Hail Mary. And oh my god, guys, what a fantastic movie.
What?
Like, you should go see it. So it's so smart. It's so like wholesome.
Yeah.
And like also like thrilling, scary, like tugs at your heartstrings.
Also, space is so cool.
Space is really cool, but it really scares me.
I never want to be there.
I would like to go to space.
Oh, I have no interest.
Because also, if I die in space, okay. That's probably the coolest way I could ever go.
So you want to like grow old and go to space? And just like...
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But also like, I don't know, if I like was in space in like 5 years and something happened, I passed away up there, I think I'd be okay with that.
You gonna call Blue Origin up?
No, they're not gonna come and help me. They don't get that high up.
That's true, they just...
like
the Tower of Terror.
Yeah, they just do amusement park it.
God. Yeah, well, Artemis 2 also made it back.
Yeah.
Safely.
Which is crazy. Okay, actually, not to get too off topic, but I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it, and that was apparently, like, the farthest humans had been from space. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just because I've seen so many space movies where I'm like, there's no way that's correct. They were just near the moon.
Yeah, nobody
like,
had
truly
orbited the moon for, like, the last 50 years.
It's insane.
And I was like, why not? I probably space programs being defended.
Yeah. Probably, and I know it's expensive and it's like crazy technology, but it's also like, it is kind of crazy we've not been farther than that when like
there's so much out there.
There's so much out there and we have so much access to technology.
Yeah, but again, it's like...
But it's again, like,
we've defended it, we don't value it, and I don't like that. When I first heard about this mission, I was very cynical.
Okay.
Because I was like, yeah, of course we're going to space while we're doing all this horrible stuff in the Middle East. We're distracting from the main problem. But then I was like, no... This is really cool. Yeah. This is a point of levity.
Well, and that's the problem is, like, there is truly room for both. It's just our governments don't.
Yeah.
Do that.
And I'm also, like, acting as though, like, the Trump administration cares.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing this separately from all that. I think he tried calling them. They didn't pick up.
Good.
On, like, the U.S. men's hockey team. Freaks.
Ugh.
Anyways.
Get out of here.
Is that a wind I hear?
No, that's rain. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys, if you can hear that. We just got a deluge.
You know what's funny? Is that I saw on the way here, I was like, oh, is it going to rain? Like, can I wear my Vans? It said 10% chance.
Yeah, well, this is the 10%.
This is feeling like not 10%.
It feels like 100. There's a 100% chance it's already raining.
Damn.
Anyways, what are we talking about today?
unfortunately, we're talking about Euphoria. And I say unfortunately because we, right before recording this episode, watched the first episode of the 3rd season and final season, thank fuck, of Euphoria.
Like, literally, we banned ourselves from talking about it until we got everything set up so that everything would be fresh.
If you had to describe that episode in one word, what would you say?
Not being creative. Bad.
Being creative. I'd say disgusting.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
I need an even more grotesque word for that. Maybe not grotesque. I wouldn't say fully grotesque. It was just bad.
Yeah.
So we have watched Euphoria from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think especially with like the first season, it's never been great television, but I think especially with like the first season, it was very compelling. Just because it is a crazy kind of band of characters. Mm-hmm. And in these wackadoodle situations. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because when did the first season of Euphoria come out?
I want to say 2019?
2019-ish.
Yeah, because the second season came out around like 2022.
Yeah.
Because we were watching it together. 2021, 2022. Whoa. Storm's coming.
Storms are brewing. It's like, yeah, we watched it from the beginning, and I wouldn't say it's ever been like the most like jaw-dropping television, but it was compelling, I think, just because like it was touching on subjects that were more taboo. Mm-hmm.
But I will say, when that first season came out, like you said, it wasn't like amazing TV, but it was compelling in the sense that like what these teenagers were going through were still tangible. Yeah. Like, they still could happen, and this through line of Rue's addiction, as played by the lovely Zendaya, like felt very honest and real because it reflected Sam Levinson's own experience. Yeah. And I think to this day, it's the only like salient storyline.
It truly is, and I was thinking about that when we watched today. But just to not to jump ahead, but kind of like working through, like, I think it truly started to come apart a little bit in season 2, just because I think Sam Levinson just kept trying to one up himself, and
it's not even one up in terms of talent, it's like one up in terms of shock value.
Exactly. And it was crazy because like there's so many points that have been left. We were watching the recap for season 3, and I told Naveen, I was like, hey, I actually forgot that like Rue, first of all, was gay. I completely forgot that. Yeah. And I also forgot that she was, like, in love with Jules, and that was, like, a huge part.
Yeah, like, replacing
of the first
her
season.
Addiction with her love for Jules,
And it's just because, like, everything has gotten so strayed, and because it's, like, everything's thrown at a wall, that, like, I completely forgot, like, the core concepts of, like, the show, which is crazy. Yeah. But where do we even start with this episode? I think we can start with the way it opened.
Yeah, so where this episode opens is we have fast-forwarded a couple years. We're not in high school anymore, which, honestly, I have said since the beginning, there's actually no reason for Euphoria to be set out of high school.
Yeah, there was no reason.
For the stuff that they were doing, for the stuff that they were showing, these could have been college kids instead of sexualizing high school kids.
Yeah. Because Sam Levinson's a weirdo. We'll get into that later.
Anyways. And also, nothing Skins didn't do first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Been there.
Yeah.
Done that.
But anyways, so we start the first episode with Rue. Fast forward a couple years. She owes Lori, a drug dealer from season 2, a lot of money because she took these drugs, was supposed to sell them, and then I think her mom and Jules found it, flushed it down the toilet. Now Rue owes this woman like $10,000. Turns out Lori, she does interest. So I think the actual number was like $43 million. Yes. But she said, you can just pay me $100K, but I know you don't have it. So now Rue is a drug mule for Lori. She's in Mexico. Yeah. Basically body packing fentanyl across the border with Faye, played by Chloe Cherry. And I'll be honest, I learned what body packing is today. Yeah.
Unfortunately, me and my family do watch To Catch a Smuggler. I'm pretty sure it's on Nat Geo. Riveting television. Crazy what
people do.
What people do. But yeah, as soon as it started, we were watching Rue, because when she's in Mexico, we were both kind of like, what the fuck show is this?
Yeah.
Because it all of a sudden felt like we were watching Narcos. And not even just because of the drug part, but, like, the way it was filmed, the music that was going on, the title sequence was a complete tonal shift from what Euphoria was.
Like, it felt like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, it was just, like, very, very strange. And
then it fast forwards to, okay, Rue, still not doing well. Evidently owes money. She's in a lot of hot water. Then we, like, get these snippets of all the other characters.
Yeah.
And Lexi is, like, in Hollywood working on a soap.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of fits. But...
Yeah, then we have a cat.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see her, but my little baby cat is...
roaming around.
She might step on your laptop. She loves to step on a computer.
Okay, well, we'll see
she's
what
running
happens.
away. Okay,
Yeah,
she's away.
But Maddie works at an influencer management company as, like, an assistant, probably.
Yeah.
/ receptionist. But the most interesting storyline, not interesting, but just at this point sad, is Cassie and Nate, who are engaged.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about Nate first. Nate has taken over his dad's business in, like, construction. Mm-hmm. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
No, he has no idea what he's doing.
All of a sudden, looking like a rugged man. He has this weird southern twang.
He's got a flannel on.
I mean, he looks good.
He does look good.
But I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And I'm like, Nate is scary. And actually, I didn't find him scary in any of this.
No, not at all. And it's like a complete character shift.
Yeah, because it just felt like he was stressed.
Yeah.
The whole time. And Cassie, on the other hand...
Oh my god.
So she is... We open with her in, like, lingerie, and she is filming these videos... like, as a dog, and she's, like, shaking for the camera, and he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was also like, yeah, what the hell are you doing? Like, this man has bankrolled your life, which I don't know how. I don't get what's going on there.
We're not supposed to know how.
Yeah, but she wants to make money for herself, so she's trying to be an influencer, and she wants to have a $50,000 floor arrangement for their wedding, and he's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Which... He's right.
Which is correct.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so she is basically saying, like, I want to start an OnlyFans to make enough money for my floral arrangement. And I was saying this during this, I'm like, season 1 Cassie was not, like, an airhead.
Yeah.
And, like, she's slowly descended into one over the course of the seasons. And I'm like, what happened?
And it also, but, like, the problem is it also correlates with, like, her, like, overt sexualization.
Yeah.
Starting last season when she, like, starts hooking up with Nate behind Maddie's back. Mm-hmm. And she just, like, she has a psychotic break. Like, season 2, which, like, fine, happens to the best of us. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, and this just, like...
Sam Levinson, just the way he... utilizes Sydney Sweeney's sexuality feels so icky to me.
As
someone
very
I'm not
icky.
even her biggest fan, but I don't want that for her.
No, and, like, honestly, I'm even thinking towards, like, season 1. I said season 2, but, like, honestly, in season 1, because if you remember, like, the carousel scene,
Oof. The carousel scene
is haunting.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's again the thing with Sam Levinson is there is no nuance to his representations of sexuality, and it's only ever explored through, like, women and exploiting them in the most disgusting way. And again, it's like he made a conscious choice of making them underage teenage girls doing all this, like, stuff that they should not be doing. And, like, it was that's probably going to be, honestly, the majority of our conversation, I feel like.
Is that just, like, the way
that Sam Levinson treats women. Because, like, the first thing that we see of Cassie is, like you said, she's dressed up in, like, a bodysuit, has, like, a tail attached. She's, like, on top of a doghouse.
Like, the first shot we get of her is her ass.
Yes.
And I was like... I mean, it looks good, but I was kind of like, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it just, like, it continues to get worse. She, like, drinks water out of a dog bowl. Mm-hmm. And he
plays into such weird, kink stuff for so much, because
yes.
we're also skipping over when Rue is in Mexico. She's with Faye.
Yeah.
So they're packing these like balloons of fentanyl into their bodies, and
they're
like,
swallowing like
them
50
whole.
like 50 probably
and it's a
different
whole
ones.
scene, and this really specifically only happened with Faye, Chloe Cherry's character, because I'm assuming Zendaya has some clause.
Yeah, I think she has like a pretty strict nudity clause. I'm sure she probably gets some sort of say.
But with Chloe Cherry, like, this girl is like, there's spit going down, like fingers down the mouth. It's very phallic,
pornographic.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, sure. It just feels like he takes any chance he can to put a woman in a degrading position.
Yeah.
And my thing is that, like, it's not anti-sex. It's not, like, not wanting to see sex on my screen. But it just, like, I don't know how this applies to the plot.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking a little bit about this whole storyline with Cassie, where she's just kind of, like, on one hand, she's very unfulfilled in her life because she literally doesn't have anything to do other than being Nate's girlfriend or fiance at this point, and, like, being pretty for him, which is what she's honestly been trying to do since season 1. So, like, that's not really, a change in character. But I think an interesting way that, like, we could talk about this and her wanting to get more into, like, OnlyFans and, like, dabbling into, like, sex work in, like, some degree is if, like, maybe in our future episodes it kind of highlights the challenges of it and, like, what happens, like, when you do engage with this work, if it doesn't work out and, like, you have to kind of, you know, reassimilate and face, like, the real life implications that do come with, like, making like adult content and stuff like that. However, I don't think Sam Levinson is ever going to do that because I don't think he has the knowledge to do that or the care to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to end up with Cassie, like, devaluing herself, degrading herself over and over again until Nate Jacobs is like, you're fucking embarrassing me, I'm leaving you.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, see, that sort of storyline about sex work would be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think to approach OnlyFans, and to bring that up specifically, which felt like a paid partnership, honestly, how much it was being brought up, and she was like, it's actually a misconception about what OnlyFans is. I was like,
I would be interested to look and see if there was anything.
It's a paid partnership? Yeah. I felt like Uber was a paid partnership in that. Maybe.
We'll do some research.
Anyways.
We'll do some research.
But I just feel like, especially because, like, online adult entertainment is so saturated right now. Like, OnlyFans has really democratized the process of it.
Yeah.
And I'd be that would be a really interesting storyline to see, like, how hard it is to, like, make it and, like, make an income off of that when it's so inundated with content.
Yeah, because maybe I'm gonna give Sam just a little bit of wiggle room, because there is a point when Sydney Sweeney's character, what's her name? Cassie. Cassie's talking to someone else, like, I guess it's a friend at the pool, and the friend is kind of like, well, this is kind of a crazy idea, like, how are you going to make money that quickly? And Cassie is just like everyone wants attention, like, they can pay me $50 and I can, like, say hi to them, they'll get a precise picture, but, like,
she's right,
but also thousands of people are already doing that.
Yeah.
And so I think she's also just, she has kind of lived in this bubble where she gets attention in her small bubble, and I think she doesn't realize how big the world is, how big the, like, OnlyFans, like, sex work community is, and I think she's very much underestimating how much work it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
And how much you do have to put out of yourself, because, also, one other thing, she, like, cooks a dinner for Nate, where she basically is like, we're not getting married if you don't give me my $50,000 floral arrangement, like, maybe we should get married if you can't pay for it. And she kind of, this is when she proposes that she does OnlyFans, and one of Nate's stipulations is not to show her face
and boobs at the same time.
And unfortunately, that's not going to fly if she's trying to make content and be successful. So I'm curious if we will get some of that nuance. I just worry that Sam will not handle it well at all, because he doesn't really handle things well.
God. I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's just, like, it's also crazy because, like, the only two women I think that we see in a position of somewhat power and control of their lives is Maddie and Lexi, which is interesting because Rue is, like, forced into being a drug mule. We haven't even talked about what happens to Rue later in the half of the episode. We'll get into that. Cassie is just a housewife influencer, potential OnlyFans model.
Yeah, because she's like, I have no money. Like, she relies on me.
She just has
everything.
nothing. And then also it's teased that Jules is probably a sugar baby. And it's just like, at every chance, and Levinson is trying to steal their autonomy and just put them in these degrading situations as entertainment.
Well, I would argue that Maddie and Lexi aren't, like, they're not in control of their lives.
Well, I don't think so either, but they're not, like,
but it's
in
funny,
the same situation.
But my thing is like, none of them have power.
Yeah.
He's like, even they have normal jobs, they still don't have power. They're not successful. But the men are. Yeah.
And by men, maybe it's only Nate Jacobs.
What other men are there?
Because there's no other men.
Yeah. Because Fez, rest in peace, Angus.
Yeah.
He's in prison.
Yeah, he's written off into prison.
Ollie's doing well. Like, he's sober.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But
he's
just there to just, like, is there to, like, push Ruth forward. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
No one's doing great.
No one's doing great.
Maddie and Lexi are, like, trying to make a living.
Yeah. And I did want to touch on, like, Rue and where we do leave her, because obviously she is still going through her addiction, and now she's stuck in an environment where she's around drugs 24/7, ingesting drugs into her body in a dangerous, very sort of way, because if one of those, as Naveen mentioned, she's, like, smuggling fentanyl by swallowing, like, the balloons full of them. Like, if it pops, like, you're dead. Like, there's no kind of saving you. So she's in this situation, and then in the end of the episode, she is delivering drugs to this person called Alamo.
Who's a pimp.
Who comes to, like, find out that he is a pimp. And Rue strikes up a conversation with him and is like, finds out that he's a pimp, and Rue's like, hey, I'd like to get into that. And it doesn't feel like Rue. That doesn't feel like her character, because especially in, like, the first and second seasons, it wasn't like Rue was just an addict. She had so much layer to her and so much care for her friends and family. And that's been completely stripped from her, and I can see it in a sort of way, like, post-graduation. I'm sure that, like, after all this went down, she had some probably hard times with, like, her family, but it just feels like such a pivot from, like, the character development that Rue had for her to, like, completely backslide and want to profit off of women's bodies in that sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened in the years between high school and now. I am assuming being a drug mule for a couple years might do something to you.
It would do something to you.
Because again, like, I think her queerness in the second season is not really brought up as much as it is in the first season. And in the first season, it's brought up in a very, like, touching way, as it is connected to, like, her battling addiction as well. And I think also, like, maybe there is an attraction to power as well with Alamo. Yeah. Because Alamo is in control of his situation. And also at this point, religion kind of plays a really interesting role, because Ollie is going through the different steps of recovery from addiction with her, and talks about accepting God as her savior. And so she's like, I guess I'll just, like, get into God. Yeah. Which is brought up in interesting ways. Like, I don't know if it's fully relevant yet, but I'm curious to see how it goes on. The through line. And basically was just like, yeah, like, it felt like that God brought me and Alamo together, that, like, maybe I could get out of my situation, reinvent myself. And I also think that, like, anything that is not being a drug mule would seem like a good way to make income to her. Yeah, for sure. Because, like, what
she is in an awful situation. Yeah. She's in a bad situation where she is, like, truly never going to get out. Like, she will never be able to get out of debt. Because that's how Lori wants her. Even, like, in the first part of the episode, Rue is quite literally trying to drive her car over the U.S.-Mexico border based on these little, like, stilt things, she, like, gets the car stuck at the top and just, like, ends up walking and getting home. But, like, the first thing that happens after she gets to Lori's place is like, oh, I'm just adding that to your tab. Like, where's my car? I'm adding it to your tab. So, like, Rue's realistically never going to get out of there. So, in that sense, I agree. Mm-hmm. That, like, honestly, any other way she can make money is probably going to be from the best. But I think she's working into an even worse situation because Alamo is, like, bigger, badder, has more power than Lori does as, like, a low-level drug dealer. And...
I don't know. It just feels like one bad situation to the next, and I have no idea where it's gonna go. Yeah, and I think the overall thing is, like, we got done watching the episode and we both looked at each other and we're like, hey, that wasn't even fun. Like, the rest of, like, the episodes were fun and engaging, but this just feels like... And even if they weren't fun, they were just simply engaging and compelling to watch.
This wasn't one I was compelling like, at all.
This felt like The Idol.
It felt like The Idol, which we can touch on a little bit.
There's nothing to touch on. There was nothing of substance in that series.
Yeah, so we watched the first and last episode of The Idol. Bad. It
was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
It was really awful. And I did see when we were watching this that The Weeknd is now also producing this alongside Drake. Which I'm like, nothing good can come from that. But...
I just feel like this is a series for, like, grown-up edgelords, you know?
Yeah, it just it feels... we were watching this and, like, it feels so pornographic in the demeaning way that it, like, forces
it feels exploitative.
Women. It does feel exploitative, I would say. And not even for the point, like, making a point. I think it's just doing it so that Sam Levinson can watch it. And watch it happen in real time. Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's driving a plot at this point. And, you know, I think it's funny that I think Sydney Sweeney has come up a lot and talks about, like, nudity on screen. And, you know, I think in the first season she's getting her start and, like... Evidently it was shocking. I think in the second season, I don't know if there was more. It felt like there was more just because it felt a little bit more graphic. And I remember there being an interview with her being like, oh, well, like, no, like, I consent to this. Like, I even asked Sam Levinson to take, like, some nude scenes out. And I was like, there was more?
That's what's crazy.
Yeah. And then now in this episode, she's not really, like, there are no nude scenes of her. So it does feel a little different. But it still feels like it's really, like, using her body as a tool that's not driving the plot in a way that makes sense. Because I don't know. I just think it would have been much more interesting to see that sort of power dynamic between Cassie and Nate explored in a different, interesting way. Because her kind of being like, oh, like, I'm, like, on the internet, I'm pretending to be I'm like, that's not who Cassie was. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And maybe, sure, she did have a psychotic break, so maybe she's like that now. But, it just, I don't know. I just wish it had explored this in a different way. Especially when we're in a time of, I'm not going to use the word tradwife, but I'm going to use people returning to, like, traditional gender roles in the home and, like, really romanticizing what that looks like. I'm like, there's a reason that second wave feminism happened. There's a reason that Betty Friedan wrote The Feminine Mystique, is because you sit there and you don't have, like, a purpose, really. And, like, this is not related to, like, people who are, like, stay-at-home moms. That is very different. I'm talking about, like, all you do is serve your husband. Yeah. And, like, even for stay-at-home moms, if that was not your choice, if that was something you felt like you had to fulfill and not something you chose, it's a very different feeling. Yeah. And it again happened in the 60s, this, like, weird, like, almost, like, paranoia amongst women who basically didn't realize that what they were feeling was a lack of passion and nourishment from, like, fulfilling themselves through work and passionate, like, outlets that their husbands got to do. Yeah. It's never gonna work. It's genuine. It has never worked. Like, if you think being in the home is gonna, like, solve all your problems, it's not. Yeah. You're gonna get bored. Yeah. And also, like, when you put your financial well-being in the hands of another person, don't ever do that. Dangerous. Don't ever do it.
Truly dangerous.
Sign a prenup, keep your last name. Anyways.
It's just like, yeah, so I think we'll continue watching it a little bit. I can't even promise that we'll finish the season, which is crazy to say.
And that's okay to say.
It is okay to say.
There's so much other good TV
There is so much other good TV. And it's just like, I'm glad that this is the last season. Please release that cast.
To do other things.
And...
I mean, they have. That's why I didn't remember anything from the past seasons, because it had been so long.
Yeah, because also, like, kind of going back to the episode, the writing is so atrocious on here. It's so bland. It's so boring.
Yeah.
Because even during that whole interaction between Cassie and Nate, when he walks in and she is acting as a dog and making content, their whole back and forth felt so rigid and stale, and even like...
It felt very limp.
It did. Mm-hmm. And it was... I think I was also like, what is this acting? Yeah. Because, like, Sydney Sweeney, I think she's a fine actor. I don't think she's fantastic, but I think she can carry. Like, she knows what to do.
And Jacob Elordi's
Same with Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it felt so stiff, and, like, they were just reciting lines to each other. And there was even, like, the dialogue between Lexi and Rue.
It just felt, like, really odd.
Odd.
Yeah, I don't know.
In a way that it wasn't even in, like, season 2. Because season 2's writing, I would say, is, like, pretty smart and, like, pretty cutting.
Yeah, no, season 2 was crazy, but it was very compelling to watch. Because the thing is, with Euphoria, first and second season, every week I was watching it.
Me too. I was ready for the next episode.
It was Euphoria Sunday. This,
I don't know what this is.
I could do with not watching this again.
Yeah, so it's really disappointing just to kind of see... Is it disappointing? Yeah, it is disappointing. Because I'm just also like...
Is it disappointing or what we were expecting from Sam Levinson?
I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting from Sam Levinson. I think that's the problem.
Because I saw the trailer and I said, this is not the show I once watched.
No, it's like a completely different show. And it also... It kind of feels like, is this the show that Sam Levinson wanted to be the whole time? And the only way he could, like, explore these situations, unfortunately, was, like... putting them in, like, a high school setting and just, like, kind of building off of that.
I don't know, because, you know, it's an adaptation of, like, an Israeli show that came out whenever. And I think they were teenagers in that show, too. Yeah. So I guess he was trying to stay true to the original text, but I'm like, you don't have to.
No.
Nobody knows that series.
It's just, it's very confusing. Yeah. It's very confusing, and I can't put my finger on why it is the way it is. Like, I don't know...
Just shock value.
But it's not even... Was this shocking, I guess, what we watched?
My jaw dropped a couple times. I was like, ah.
But I think that was mostly because we were like... It wasn't like a...
Because can you not picture Sam Levinson and his writers be like, oh, this is going to be crazy?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. But also when I'm thinking of, like, the previous shock values, like, some of the most shocking scenes of season 2 was when they did the play... Is this fucking play about us? I'm sorry, that's brilliant.
That play was
That is crazy. Shock value. That is good writing. That is good acting. That's good storytelling.
Yeah.
You also think about the situation where Rue spills the beans that Cassie's having sex with Nate behind Maddie's back.
Yeah.
That's a shock value.
Yeah.
This was gross out.
Yeah.
A lot of the shock values of this episode...
I think he's conflating the two.
I think he's conflating them, and I think he is leaning more into, maybe now that they're adults, like this, like... One thing that I was thinking is, like, there was so much bodily fluids in this episode. Yeah. I think he's delving into a weird sexual fetish of his, and that's kind of where he's going with it, because if I'm thinking about...
Well, I don't want to assume it's a fetish. I feel like it really is, like, him, like, the gross out, like, for him, and, like, a lot of male directors is, like, for him a marker of quality. To be, like, shocking and, like, pushing the envelope. I'm thinking of, like, Tarantino.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood and guts in a Tarantino
But that makes sense. That's always what he's been about.
Yeah.
This is new.
But doesn't this feel almost like a bad ripoff of a Tarantino film?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right?
Yeah. But it's just, like... I don't know. I think it's just because it's such a departure from, like, the first and second one, and there's no through line as to why that is. And why it's suddenly pivoted towards...
I think because he had 4 years. I think we're looking for logic where it doesn't
I
exist.
know, I think we're trying to
Genuinely.
rationalize it, and there's
Yeah,
actually
I
no
think he had 4 years to
rationalization.
sit and his imagination ruined. Whew, wild.
Yeah.
Because obviously he was like, I can't keep them in high school.
Yeah.
And he's like, time jump, now I can do whatever I want with them.
Yeah, and I really hate that.
I think that there's really not a lot of thought that went into it.
I think so too.
Which is why it's bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad, guys.
Yeah. What I'm more curious about is what his career will look like after this.
I'm pretty sure he'll still have one.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
he
I'm
got
curious
the
what he
Idol
would
made.
do.
I think he's gonna make his content exactly similar to this.
Yeah.
Because has he actually done anything? I'm sure he has, but like, what has he done other than like Euphoria?
Euphoria,
and
The Idol, Malcolm and Marie, right?
Did he do Malcolm and Marie?
I want to say that he did that movie.
Okay, I feel like that was him tiptoeing into like, could I do Prestige?
Yeah.
And then it was received horribly.
Yeah. I want to say that was him because I think it came out around when that first season came out.
I think
Euphoria.
so too. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's just like, it's very confusing. It's a very confusing show.
Perplexing.
It's a confusing experience watching it. The only storyline I am curious to see is Rue, because I think that's the only character I actually care about.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt second season. Like, all the other stuff was, like, very fun to watch, but it felt like fun fluff, whereas, like, that one episode, I want to say, I think I remember episode 5, that just focuses on Rue, like, basically running.
Yeah.
When she, like, crashes through, like, glass, that's what got her that Emmy.
Yeah, it's an incredible performance.
Like, her story throughout the first and second season, it feels really heartfelt because I think that's the one thing Sam Levinson really connects to on a deep level as someone who has recovered from addiction. Mm-hmm. And I really respect that, but it's really telling that, like, he can write what he knows, but he has no idea how to write what he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then I don't think you're a compelling storyteller.
Yeah, you should go to school.
Go to school for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it shouldn't be created, written, and directed by the same person.
Yeah, I think auteur... Sometimes break it up.
Sometimes we need other opinions.
Share the wealth, you know?
Yeah.
And I think also there's probably, because of the success of season 1, season 2, or just even season 1, that he probably had free reign.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. So we'll keep watching, I think I'll at least I need to watch at least one more episode to figure out what's going on.
The way you said that, I said, we.
I know. I'll probably watch it and I can give you a recap.
No, I'll pop in, but I don't think I'll watch it as diligently. Like, this time I didn't have my phone because I was just, like, watching and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm curious.
I am very curious.
Maybe it'll pick up.
I don't know, girl. I don't know. It's truly, I've never felt like such a toss-up with the show in a long time.
Because most of the time, like, there's not a lot of shows that I watch that are horrible.
Right.
Like, they're like, I could do without.
There's usually something in it that I can kind of grab to. This doesn't really have it.
No, not at all. Well, we watched it.
We did watch it. We told you guys about it. So you can watch it. You can't watch it. Whatever.
Tell us your thoughts.
Tell us your thoughts, yeah, because we would be very curious.
Because I know that there's people out there, and you know what? I'm open to reading it. I probably won't agree that will say that this is some commentary on such and such and the exploitation of this, and that. And I was just like...
I also think it's just too early to tell.
Yeah.
It's too early to tell how Sam Levinson is going to kind of explore these topics and, like, finish out these stories.
But when has he done it before?
He's not.
There's still time.
And that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on this.
That's all we got to say. I'm sure we'll have more to say at some point. I am excited to read kind of reviews and see what, like...
The reviews are...
I know, but I need to read the details. I need to see what the critics are saying. Yeah, it's not been received well so far, which, like, not surprising. But also, a lot of shows are not received well by critics and then, you know, kind
people
of
loved
by people. I don't feel like this is one of those cases.
You know what?
But you know what?
We might have a rude awakening.
We might have a rude awakening. We're going to get online and be in the minority.
And if you like it, I'm actually, like, I'm not, like, judging. Like, I'm just curious because I'm genuinely, like, I love when people disagree with me because I love hearing a different perspective.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, there are probably people who really resonate with Rue's storyline.
Yeah.
Which, again, like I said, is the most, like, is the richest storyline of all of them.
For sure.
The rest of it, I could do without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, developing story, guys. This is on-the-ground journalism.
Yeah.
We will keep reporting on it. If we feel like it needs to be reported on.
If it doesn't...
you will never hear us talk about this again.
Yeah, maybe I have that Lena Dunham memoir read by next time.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm going to power through.
I'm very curious. Yeah, I need you to read it and just tell me all about it.
I'm not a person who marks my books at all. Unless...
Get little tabs.
I know, but I never feel the need.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I'm reading, like
something like
a Joan Didion.
Yeah.
Which feels... I know. But even, like, I was reading...
Dunham? Joan Didion?
But I will get tabs to mark off important passages to read to you.
Thank you.
So yeah, and if I get my act together,
okay,
I will do a whole deep dive on Lena Dunham.
Oh my god, no! We should do a deep dive on Lena Dunham.
Yeah, because the thing is, you have a special background because you've seen all of Girls.
Yes,
and I've seen about half of it.
I was also late. I only watched Girls because you told me to. Because I was very resistant to Lena Dunham.
I watched about half of Girls when it came out, and I was like in the following like the New York cool hipster space when at the height of Lena Dunham. Like, I followed every story. I read essays from her original book.
Yeah.
I've been there for all her controversies. And that's why I said, like, I do have a soft spot for her despite me disagreeing with a lot of things she has said.
Yeah.
But you can't deny that pen is sharp.
The pen is sharp.
If she wrote Euphoria, it would have been good. Honestly.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It would have been good.
So, we'll see. We'll see, guys. We're going to get you more content.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
We'll see.
Don't you worry, you pretty little heads.
All right.
All right. We're going to talk to you later.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.